If Manchester City do not pick up the 3 points today at Anfield, I'm not saying the title race is done because mathematically it's not, but it's as good as done for me. I think if Man City even pick up a draw today with that 7-point gap, it's a huge psychological shift in momentum for Manchester City. And bearing in mind, they have got one win in recent years. I think it's one win in 8 against Liverpool at Anfield. And Anfield is a very unpredictable place. They just beat Qarabağ 6-0. They just beat Newcastle 4-1. Coming off the back of a Champions League 3-1 win away out in Marseille. Or it might have been 3-0 actually. I look at this Premier League title race, and I've said this a number of times, and I will continue to say this. This Man City team do not have the mentality. They don't have the quality. They don't have the character to win a league title. This could be the first time in Pep Guardiola's career he goes 2 years without winning a league title. And then you look at Arsenal, top of the Champions League, in the League Cup final, favourable fixture in the FA Cup 4th round, and top of the Premier League as it stands by 9 points, which they're doing their job. They are making it very, very difficult for teams around them. Aston Villa 1-0 up away to Bournemouth yesterday, dropped points. Aston Villa are not in the best of form. They lost 1-0 recently against Everton at home as well. And I think the focus for them now will be to get on in the Champions League next season and to win the Europa League. And I think Aston Villa fans should be happy with a European trophy and getting in the top 4 and challenging for a league title for half of a season. They don't have the quality in depth to challenge Arsenal. When you look at the team that played yesterday against Sunderland, Arsenal started with Kai Havertz in the 10 and Gabriel Jesus up front. I said this yesterday in the match reaction, and I'm going to say it again today. Players like Victor Gyökeres, players like Xavi Simons, Florian Wirtz, you've got Ekitike, these big stars that have come to the Premier League, it's going to take them time. You don't just, unless it's a rarity like an Erling Haaland, a Sergio Aguero, someone like that who comes into the league and immediately kickstarts and does really, really well. That does, just because that doesn't happen with other players doesn't necessarily mean it won't work out. And Gyökeres now is in double digits for goals this season for Arsenal. And I believe has got, the most goals for Arsenal in the last 3 or 4 weeks. He got 2 in the Champions League recently. He scored away at Inter Milan. He scored against Leeds. He got a goal and assist against Correa Almaty. And yesterday he got 2 goals. And if you get even 50% of the Victor Gyökeres at Sporting Lisbon in Liga Portugal, then you have got one hell of a goal scorer. He won't replicate the 97 games in 103 or 97 goals in 103 games. He's not going to be anywhere near that because, after all, when you're playing against Pacos de Ferreira, when you're playing against Sporting Lisbon playing against Benfica and Porto, it's different to playing against City, Villa, Chelsea, Man United, Spurs. Well, maybe not Spurs because we're not even in the conversation because we're that bad. But I do believe this weekend, I said this on the preview with Terry, this has the potential to go out there and change the title race. And Liverpool, of course, are battling for top 4. If they win today, they would go on 42 points, which is currently 2 points away from Manchester United. They'd be 1 point away from Chelsea. If Man City win, they're back within 6 points of Arsenal. Still having to play that game at the Etihad. But I just don't see that happening. I don't know what you guys think. 1 win in their last 5 games for City. Drawing against Sunderland, drawing against Brighton, drawing against Chelsea, losing against Man United, drawing against a terrible Spurs team. And they managed to beat Wolves 2-0 at home, where Wolves had some chances that day. I look at the City that played against Spurs in the second half. They weren't great at all. They were very, very good against Newcastle in the League Cup. But for me, I look at Liverpool's home record this season. If we look at Liverpool's last 5 games at home, there has been a bit of an increase in points. The last 5 home games have been beating Wolves, beating Barnsley, drawing with Burnley, beating Qarabağ, and beating Newcastle. And in the last 2 games, they have scored 10 goals. Scoring 4 goals against Newcastle, look, it's not the Newcastle we've seen of recent years that have been in and around the Champions League, but I certainly believe Newcastle are a decent side, and to go there and score 4 is a very, very decent performance. You look at Man City's last 5 games, if we just click on Man City, for instance, and we look at their fixtures, in the league, drawing against us, beating Wolves, losing to Man United, drawing against Brighton, drawing against Chelsea, drawing against Sunderland. That isn't a side that's going to go out there and win the league titles. And when you look at the Premier League table as it stands, if Arsenal beat Brentford, I think Man City played before that. But as it stands, it's potentially going to be 9 points with both teams playing 25 games. I'm not saying it's Arsenal's to lose because I don't want to put that sort of opinion out there because I just don't necessarily believe it's theirs to lose. I do, however, feel it's theirs to win. They are by far the best team in the league. They've scored the joint highest amount of goals. They've only conceded 17. They've got 6 more goal difference than Manchester City, and they won their last 2 Premier League games with an aggregate scoreline of 7-0, which, yes, people will say it's only Leeds and it's only Sunderland, but you can only beat what's in front of you. And they've scored 8 goals in the last 3 games and kept 3 clean sheets. And you look at the fixtures they've got coming up. Let's be honest. Be honest with me right now. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins. I see 6 wins. I think they beat Wigan comfortably and make a number of changes. They've still got 4 games left this month. I do, however, believe the North London derby won't be as a walkover as what some people think. The Wolves fixture won't be as easy as people think, because Wolves, I know they lost comfortably yesterday against Chelsea, but some teams, when they play against Arsenal, because they're playing against top of the league, they get a bit more fight, a bit more spirit in the ranks. That being said, I don't see them beating Arsenal. And Brentford will be tough. They had a very, very good performance away at Newcastle yesterday where they won 3-2. Dango Otara scored the winning goal. And I look at this run of fixtures, all the tough games they seem to be playing at the Emirates between now and the end of the season. Everton's a tough game at the Emirates. Chelsea's a tough game, but it's at the Emirates. For me, I don't see them crumbling. I think they're, this narrative of Arsenal could still absolutely bottle it. I don't subscribe to that because I don't see that happening. And you look at the situation that's presenting Arsenal. Now people are starting to talk about trebles. Some people are talking about quadruples. Let's be honest right now. In the FA Cup, I mean, when you look at the fixtures, Chelsea playing whole away is not an easy game by any stretch. They're playing good football. Man City should comfortably beat Salford, but one of Aston Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool and Brighton, 2 of those teams are going to immediately get eliminated. So when you look at the fixtures on the Sunday, in terms of Premier League opposition, Birmingham are playing Leeds. I don't really think Leeds have got anywhere near the quality to win an FA Cup. But you look at these games, for instance, knowing the fact that Liverpool, Brighton, Villa and Newcastle, 2 of those teams are going out. Imagine if it was Liverpool and Aston Villa that went out. You look at Man City will comfortably get through. West Ham haven't got an easy game away. Chelsea haven't got an easy game away. These teams are the magic of the FA Cup, and Arsenal have got a comfortable fixture once again, and it's at the Emirates. You look at that, you look at everything that seems to be going right for them. That they played yesterday with 3 big players out, and there was no Martin Odegaard. He's not back until mid-February. There's no Bukayo Saka. There's no Mikel Merino. I personally believe right now, Kai Havertz must remain in the number 10 role. He is performing to a very, very high level. He came in yesterday against Sunderland in the number 10. And since he's come back from injury, he does look very, very, very good. Played 60 minutes against Leeds, got a goal and an assist, I believe, against Karat Almaty, which was a decent 45 minutes performance from him. He came in yesterday. Got an assist against Sunderland, got a goal against Chelsea, which won the game, and he only played 21 minutes. So since he's come back against Karat Almaty, really, in the last 4 games, he's got 4 goal contributions. So if you can get him up to the level we think Arsenal can get him up to, because he is a good player, I just don't see them losing this league title. For Man City, I'm not. Look, this is a big shout, but it wouldn't surprise me at all right now if Manchester United finished above them. You look at where they are in the league. Aston Villa, I could actually see dropping out of the top 4, the way their current form is going. With only, 1 win in their last 5 games. City have also got 1 win in their last 5 games. Chelsea have won 4 in a row. Man United have won 4 in a row. Liverpool, won recently. They could win today. It wouldn't surprise me if Man United and Chelsea maybe got second and third. City don't look anywhere near the level right now. And if they lose today, that'd be 1 win in 7. Bearing in mind Erling Haaland, his goals have dried up as well. He's only got 1 goal in 7 too. So there's not a lot, not a lot going right for City right now. With their fixtures coming up, with Newcastle coming up, a trip to Leeds, which isn't an easy place to go. They've got a very good home record. They've got to play Liverpool away today. They've got West Ham away, who are fighting for their lives. Like, they aren't playing easy games right now. Leeds away, West Ham away is not easy. Newcastle at home, they normally beat. Liverpool away is not easy. And when you get into February, or get into March/April, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Chelsea, Arsenal, Everton away. Like, that run of games there is very, very difficult. They've got to play Arsenal away and Chelsea away in back-to-back fixtures. So let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I will see you all very, very soon.